Whether I had a cold or something at the time, I don't know.
What's going on, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. And today is a fantastic day because we have some major confirmations for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Ever since we got the Super Bowl trailer for Multiverse of Madness and presumed that we heard Professor Xavier's voice played by Patrick Stewart, we assumed that the Illuminati are coming and the X-Men are also coming in Multiverse of Madness.
We should tell him the truth.
However, since it was not officially revealed to be Patrick Stewart's Professor Xavier, a lot of rumors started to go kind of wild, and still a lot of people did not believe that this person that we heard is indeed Patrick Stewart's Professor X. However, today we can put that all to rest, as Patrick Stewart himself has come out and seemingly confirmed that yes, it is indeed him. He is returning as Professor Xavier in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and he even talks a little bit about what it would be like if Professor X met Doctor Strange, which could give us a little bit of insight on how it's actually going to be when the two of them finally meet in the movie. So a ton to break down in today's video. Let's get started. But of course, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news. Now, as most people know by now, Patrick Stewart has been going around and he's been doing interviews for his show, Picard. Captain Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek, the character he's played since 1987. So he's been making his rounds with the interviews, and of course everybody has to ask him about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and today we finally get an actual answer from him where he's not trolling us.
The Doctor Strange trailer, can you comment on that at all?
Who's Doctor Strange?
So in an interview with the YouTube channel Jake's Takes, Patrick Stewart confesses that this is indeed him in the trailer, and he describes his experience that day and the following day.
Take me back to Super Bowl Sunday a few weeks back. You're watching the game, you're trying to enjoy yourself, everyone on the planet's watching it, and then a commercial comes on for a Marvel movie in which someone kind of sounds like you. How quickly does your phone go off, and is there any part of you that thinks, I really just want to watch the game. I wasn't prepared for this.
Well, I had my phone turned off as it happened, and so I didn't hear anything. It wasn't until the next morning when I woke up and looked at my phone and found that I had been bombarded with responses, and that my PR people had sent me reactions that they had detailed and passed on to me. And I actually didn't recognize my own voice. It sounded different. Whether I had a cold or something at the time, I don't know. But I was astonished. And all they saw was the back of my shoulder and I think my earlobe, nothing else, that there would have been so many connections made. But it pleased me.
Now, as you heard him say, he says, I actually didn't recognize my own voice. He said it sounded different, whether he had a cold or something, but he didn't know. But this right here is him confirming that is indeed his voice, because he says he didn't recognize his voice. But then he goes further into the confirmation that this is indeed him returning as Professor Xavier. He said he was astonished that all people saw was his shoulder and the back of his earlobe, again referring to that person in the trailer as himself. And he says that he was astonished that people could make the connection just by seeing that and hearing his voice. And he even says that his PR people sent him a bunch of things that he could say in response to if that was him in the trailer, in which it kind of seems like now it doesn't really matter. Whether this is Patrick Stewart going off the books and kind of just saying, screw it, I don't really care if anybody knows anymore, or whether it's Marvel Studios saying, hey, it's pretty obvious, everybody pretty knows, you can come out at some point in time and admit that yes, that was you. You are returning as Professor Xavier, which Patrick Stewart, Sir Patrick Stewart, is a top tier actor and top tier person. Extremely professional, so I doubt he's saying all of this without the approval of Kevin Feige. I'm guessing this is pretty planned out and is probably planned in the preparation of another trailer and more TV spots coming relatively soon. We only have a few months till the actual movie gets released, so the promotion's going to pick up very soon. Which makes you think, if they teased Professor X in the official trailer, what more do they have to come if they are confirming that this is Patrick Stewart's Professor X right now? Let's talk about that in a bit, but Patrick Stewart does in this interview also say what would happen if Professor Xavier met Doctor Strange, and here's what he would have to say.
What if Professor X met Doctor Strange? What do you think would happen?
Professor X would be extraordinarily cautious and watchful and perhaps feel a little insecure because there is something that is potentially dangerous about this man. And I think that would put Professor Xavier on guard.
I love that.
So I actually think that what he said right there could be pretty revealing about the movie. After all, we do see Doctor Strange in handcuffs in the trailer, and we do see him being escorted to the Illuminati by the Iron Legion Ultron bots. This is actually kind of a pretty big sign. We don't really know what Doctor Strange's actual crimes are, whether that's just messing with the multiverse or another variant of Doctor Strange has been going around causing a lot of chaos. We don't really know exactly what has happened, but most of us assume that Professor Xavier is going to be in charge of this multiversal Illuminati. Based off of the way he comes into the room and says, we should tell him the truth, it definitely seems like he's in charge or he has somewhat of a high status with the Illuminati. So it looks like it could be at the call of Professor Xavier to put Doctor Strange in these handcuffs and have him be escorted by the Ultron bots. And this probably comes down to what Patrick Stewart just said in this interview. If Professor Xavier ever met Doctor Strange, he would be incredibly cautious. He said that he would be cautious, watchful, and maybe even a little insecure because there is something that is potentially dangerous about him. Now, this potentially dangerous part could mean that Professor Xavier and the Illuminati may not actually know if our Doctor Strange is a true threat to them. Other Doctor Stranges may have been, the Scarlet Witch may be, but they're unsure about our Doctor Strange. But they are still taking caution by putting him in the handcuffs and having these bots escort him. We do know, however, and unfortunately, that there will be a fight breaking out quickly after Doctor Strange meets the Illuminati because the Scarlet Witch is going to go to the Illuminati headquarters. We know this because we see the scene where Doctor Strange is being escorted to the headquarters. We see statues of a winged person. Then we see a fight between the Scarlet Witch and who we believe now is Captain Marvel or King. But in this scene, we see that same statue, so we know that the Scarlet Witch is going to be fighting in the Illuminati's headquarters. So a fight is going to quickly be coming after. The only question is, will the Illuminati be fighting Doctor Strange or will they just be fighting the Scarlet Witch, and whose side will Doctor Strange take? Now, we've seen Mordo fight him when he's still in the handcuffs, which means he's most likely still at the Illuminati headquarters, but will the Illuminati be smart enough to know that Doctor Strange truly isn't trying to destroy the multiverse or any universe? He was simply trying to save his own universe at several points in time. We'll have to wait and see, but Patrick Stewart has confirmed he is returning as Professor Xavier in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. For those of you who may have had a little bit of doubt, you can put that to rest now because he has admitted this himself. So, cannot wait for this movie. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. A ton of cameos are going to be appearing, and Professor X is returning and he is a part of the Illuminati. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest news. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.